Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make the best sweet potato casserole. This sweet potato casserole really is the best. It's a family favorite that I have been making for years and years. There's a lot of different versions of this recipe out there. This is the one that I use. I make it every Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then maybe a few times in between because it's my husband's absolute favorite. The sweet potatoes are soft and sweet and flavorful, and there's a pecan streusel topping that tops it off, and let me tell you, it is amazing. To start, you'll need 4 sweet potatoes, and you want the kind that have an orange skin and an orange flesh. It's important to make that distinction because there may be a couple of things labeled as sweet potatoes in your grocery store, but this is the one you want. It may also be labeled as a yam, but that's actually not true. This is not a yam. It's actually a variety of sweet potato. Yams are a distant cousin, and you've probably actually never eaten a yam unless you've been to Caribbean nations or African nations where they do have real yams, and they are very different than this. You'll want to peel and dice up your sweet potatoes into little 1/2-inch to 1-inch cubes. Once your sweet potatoes are all cut, transfer them to a large pot of boiling water, and we're going to boil these until they're tender. Once they're nice and soft, drain them and then pour them into a large mixing bowl. Once those are all in, you'll add a 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of milk, and 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of softened butter. Then take a hand mixer and beat this all together. It already smells so good. Once your sweet potatoes are nice and creamy, we're going to transfer this all to a 9x13 dish. You don't even need to grease your dish, you can just pour it in straight. Once it's all in, smooth it out into a nice even layer. Once that's all smooth, we can turn our attention to making the pecan streusel topping. It is so good and super simple. It starts with 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Pour that into another mixing bowl along with 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour and 3 tablespoons of softened butter. And you want to make sure that's really softened because then you have to use a fork and mash this all together. You want to mash that in until it resembles coarse crumbs or sand. Next, you'll need 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Now, I know that the price of nuts is always fluctuating, so you can easily turn this into a walnut streusel if the price is right. Just pour that in, and then I use a spoon to stir this all together. This streusel is seriously the best part. So good. Next, just sprinkle it right over the top of your sweet potatoes in a nice even layer. I like to make sure that it's well coated so that no orange is peeking out. Next, we're going to bake this in a 325-degree oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're ready to eat. Thanks for watching. I hope this sweet potato casserole is as much of a family favorite in your household as it is mine. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.